The devil learned to smile before he learned to forgive. In the small human village of Ravenport, no one feared the quiet man who lived near the forest edge. He was known simply as Arin, a tall, broad-shouldered stranger with dark eyes and a voice that never rose in anger. He helped repair roofs after storms, carried grain for the elderly, and paid fairly at the market without ever bargaining. No one knew his real name. No one knew he had once ruled fire. Arin met Mira on a morning washed clean by rain. She stood barefoot in the mud outside her burned-down bakery, staring at the ruins with empty hands and red eyes. Everyone else passed by, some with pity, most with relief that it wasn't their loss. Arin stopped, without a word. He picked up a fallen beam, then another. He worked until his hands bled. When Mira finally spoke, her voice was small. "You don't have to do this." Arin looked at her, rain dripping from his hair. "Yes," he said quietly, "I do." She laughed once, broken and surprised. That laugh changed everything. They married a year later. No grand ceremony. No priest. Just a shared promise under an old oak tree. Mira never asked about Arin's past, and he never lied. He simply chose silence. For the first time in centuries, the devil lived like a man. He learned the rhythm of human life, the ache of honest work, the joy of shared meals, the fear of sickness, the warmth of love earned slowly. He burned his old sigils. He buried his crown deep in the forest where even memory could not find it. At night, when Mira slept against his chest, Arin sometimes woke in terror, afraid he would destroy her just by existing. But every morning, she kissed his scars like they were nothing. They had no children. Not yet. Mira said, "There's time." Arin said nothing, because time was the one thing he feared. The village trusted him enough to let him guard their children, trusted him enough to sleep while he walked the night patrol, trusted him enough to forget that monsters ever existed. That trust would become his curse. It happened during the Festival of Light. Torches lined the streets. Bells rang. Laughter drowned out old fears. Mira stood at their stall, handing out bread she had baked herself, smiling like the world had never hurt her. Arin watched her from across the square. His chest tightened. Something was wrong. The air shifted, subtle, poisonous. Old magic stirred like a wound reopened. Arin smelled it instantly. Holy oil, steel etched with runes. Fear. He turned just as a scream cut through the celebration. A man fell to his knees, clutching his chest. A glowing symbol burned through his skin. Another scream followed. Then another. The crowd panicked. From the edges of the square, inquisitors emerged, men in white cloaks marked with gold. Their eyes were not fearful. They were eager. "By order of the light," one shouted, "this village harbors a demon." Mira froze. Arin moved. Too fast. He reached her side, gripping her wrist. "Run," he whispered. "Do not look back." She stared at him, confused. "Arin!" The ground cracked. A sigil flared beneath his feet. Chains of light snapping around his arms, his neck, his wings. Wings he had not worn in years. Gasps rippled through the square. Horns tore through illusion. Fire bled into his eyes. The devil stood revealed. Mira staggered back, not in fear, in shock. "Arin?" she whispered. He met her gaze, pain sharper than any blade. "I wanted to tell you." The inquisitors advanced, chanting. Monster. Deceiver. Burn him. Arin strained against the chains. He could break them. Easily. He could reduce the square to ash. He could save himself. He did nothing. "Let her go," he said calmly. "She is innocent." The lead inquisitor smiled. Wives of demons are never innocent. Mira screamed as they grabbed her. Something ancient inside Arin roared. But still, he did not burn them. "Please," he said, and the word tasted like blood. The inquisitor raised a torch. "See," he shouted to the crowd. "This is what mercy earns you." The fire touched Myra's dress. She turned her head, searching for Arin one last time. "I believe you," she cried. "Whatever you are, I believe you." The flames rose. Arin's scream split the sky. When the fire died, the square was silent. Mira lay still. Ash drifted like snow. The chains shattered, not from rage, but from grief too heavy for heaven to hold. The Inquisitors stepped back. Too late, Arin knelt beside her body, gathering her into his arms, rocking gently like she was only asleep. "I chose you," he whispered, voice breaking. "I chose this world." Behind him, torches were raised again. Villagers backed away in terror. Steel scraped from sheaths. They were coming to kill him. The devil did not look up. He only held his wife and cried. The devil did not move. He knelt in the ashes of the square, Myra's burned body cradled against his chest, her hair brittle beneath his trembling fingers. Smoke clung to the air, the smell of holy oil mixed with death. Around him, the villagers formed a shaking circle, torches in their hands, fear in their eyes, steel drawn, but no one daring to strike first. They had wanted a monster. Now they were terrified they had found one. Arin, someone whispered. His human name. The devil did not answer. Behind him, the lead Inquisitor wiped soot from his cloak and raised his voice. "You see now," he shouted, "this creature deceived you all. He slept in your homes, ate your bread, touched your women." The devil's wings twitched. "And now his true nature stands revealed. Kill him before he kills you." The crowd murmured. Some stepped forward. Others stepped back. "Arin, no." The devil slowly lowered Myra's body to the ground. He brushed ash from her cheek with infinite care. "I asked for one thing," he said softly. His voice was calm. Too calm. "I asked you to let her go." The ground beneath the square began to crack. "Shoot him!" the Inquisitor screamed. Bolts of blessed steel flew. They melted midair. Fire did not erupt. It breathed. A wave of heat rolled outward, forcing the villagers to their knees. Stone blackened. Torches extinguished themselves like frightened insects. The devil rose to his full height. Horns curved toward the sky. Wings spread wide, blotting out the moon. Tears of molten light ran down his face. "I chose mercy," he said, "every day." His gaze locked onto the Inquisitor. "And you chose faith without humanity." The Inquisitor tried to run. He made it 3 steps. The devil did not touch him. He spoke a word older than prayer. The Inquisitor's memories ignited. Every lie preached, every innocent condemned, every scream ignored. The man collapsed, clawing at his head, begging, "No, no, please, I was serving the light." "You were serving fear," the devil replied. The man burned from the inside out. When nothing remained but ash, silence fell again. The villagers watched in horror. Some cried, some prayed, some dropped their weapons. The devil turned to them. "For years," he said, "I protected you. I healed your sick. I guarded your children." His voice cracked. "And when fear came, you handed me my wife." A woman fell to her knees. "We didn't know." "You knew enough," the devil said quietly. He looked at the village, at the homes he had helped build, at the people he had loved. "I will not kill you," he said. Relief spread, for one heartbeat. "But I will never protect you again." The earth shook. Cracks split the ground around the village's edge, glowing red. Not fire, warning. "Leave," the devil commanded. Before dawn, never return. No one argued. They ran. By morning, Raventon was empty. The devil buried Mira beneath the oak tree, where they had once promised forever. He carved no name, only a symbol of binding, so her soul would never be lost. He stood there long after the sun rose. Something inside him had changed. Not rage, purpose. Word spread fast. A devil betrayed. A village erased without fire. An Inquisitor reduced to ash. Some called him the Mourning Devil. Others called him the Widowmaker of Faith. The devil did not care. He walked from town to town, from city to city. He did not hunt the innocent. He hunted those who would burn others in the name of righteousness. In one city, a priest who drowned demon-born children woke screaming every night, until madness took him. In another, a knight who had laughed while killing a demon family was found kneeling before their graves, his sword through his own chest. The devil was careful, precise. Every death was a mirror, but revenge is a hunger, and hunger grows. One night, Standing on a cliff above a burning stronghold, the devil felt something twist in his chest. For a moment, he could not remember Myra's laugh, only her screams. He staggered back, clutching his head. "No," he whispered, "this is not why I loved you." The fire dimmed. For the first time since her death, fear touched him. Not fear of humans, fear of himself. Far away, in a great white city, bells rang. A young commander listened as reports were read aloud. A demon who spares the innocent. A devil who kills only the guilty. A monster who cries at graves. The commander closed his eyes. "He's not mindless," he said quietly. "What's your order?" a soldier asked. The commander opened his eyes, resolve hardening. "Find him," he said, "before he forgets why he ever showed mercy." That night, beneath a blood-red moon, the devil stood before Myra's grave. "I will finish this," he whispered. "Then I will come back to you." The wind did not answer, but somewhere in the dark, someone was watching him. Hayes stopped calling him Aaron. Stories did not keep gentle names. Now he was known as a mourning devil, a shadow that followed corrupt men, a fire that spared children, a curse whispered only after doors were locked. And because humans fear what they cannot control, they decided to kill him. The Order of the Pure Flame was born in marble halls and blessed with lies. Knights, priests, and scholars trained not to save lives, but to erase symbols. Their leader was young, too young. His name was Cale Arden. He had never burned a demon child, never laughed at a woman's screams, never raised a torch in blind faith. That was why they chose him. He will not hesitate, the council said. He will believe. Cale first saw the devil at a mass grave, charred earth, melted armor, bodies of men known for cruelty. The devil stood among them, unmoving, rain hissing as it touched his fading fire. "You don't run," Cale said, sword lower but ready. The devil turned slowly. Red eyes, tired eyes. "I'm done running," he replied. Cale felt it then. Not fear, grief. "You killed them," Cale said. "They killed first," the devil answered. Silence stretched. "You spared the village children," Cale said quietly. "Yes." "Why?" The devil looked past him, to a tree in the distance. "My wife loved children." Something twisted in Cale's chest. They fought, not like enemies, like two men testing truths. Steel met fire. The ground cracked. The devil could have ended it in seconds, but he didn't. Cale noticed. "You're holding back," Cale said between blows. The devil's voice was low. "I'm afraid of what happens if I don't." Cale's sword slipped. Fire grazed his shoulder, but did not burn. The devil stepped back. "Leave," he said, "before you become like them." Cale didn't answer. He couldn't. That night, Cale dreamed of a woman burning under torchlight. He woke screaming. The Order grew impatient. "End him," the council commanded, "or we will." They set a trap. A lie spread through the cities. The devil had been captured. In truth, they had taken a woman. She looked like Mira, same hair, same dress, bound to a pyre in the capital square. The devil arrived before midnight. The sky darkened. The ground screamed. When he saw the woman, his knees almost buckled. Then he smelled fear. Not hers. The lie. He raised his head slowly. "Show yourselves," he said. The square exploded with light. Chains of holy magic wrapped around him. Stronger than before, hundreds of soldiers emerged. Priests chanted. Siege weapons aimed at his heart. Cale stepped forward. "Stop," he shouted. "This is wrong." The council ignored him. "Burn the demon," they roared. The devil laughed. A broken sound. "You learn nothing," he said. He did not burn the city. He burned the chains. The shock wave shattered windows for miles. Cale shielded the woman as fire swept past them harmlessly. The devil stood at the center of the storm, terrible, radiant, grieving. "You use love as bait," he said. "That makes you worse than monsters." The council screamed orders. Arrows flew. Spells cracked. The devil turned toward Cale. "Choose," he said softly. "Now." Cale looked at the soldiers, at the priests, At the woman shaking beside him, he lowered his sword. I choose to stop this. Kale cut the woman free. Chaos erupted. By dawn, the capital still stood, but the council did not. Kale knelt amid the ruins, bloodied and shaking. You could have destroyed everything, he said. The devil stared at the sunrise. So could they. He turned away. From that day on, humans whispered a new fear. What if the devil is right? And in the deep places of the world, ancient demons began to stir, because mercy is dangerous, and hell does not forgive traitors. The devil returned to the oak tree, Myra's grave. I'm losing myself, he whispered, and finding something else. The air grew cold. Old power watched him now. Not human, not kind, not forgiving. Hell does not tolerate mercy. The moment the mourning devil spared the capital, ancient seals cracked beneath the world. In the deepest abyss, where fire remembers names and shadows whisper sins, the old powers awakened. He has forgotten what he is, growled Vorthin, lord of the first flame. He has betrayed us, hissed Seraphi, queen of endless hunger. They did not summon him. They came for him. The sky split open above the oak tree. Myra's grave trembled. The devil stood still as the earth burned away, and 7 demon lords descended, wings blotting out the sun. Their presence crushed the forest into ash. You chose humans, Vorthin thundered. You chose love. The devil's eyes glowed softly, not with rage, with exhaustion. I chose mercy, he said. You chose fear. Seraphi laughed. Mercy makes demons weak. The devil knelt. He placed his palm on Myra's grave. Then I will be weak, he said quietly. Hell attacked. Fire older than creation tore through him. Claws ripped his wings. Chains forged from hatred wrapped around his soul. Still, he did not strike back. Not at first. You burned your crown, Vorthin roared. You buried your past. For this, for her, the devil replied. He stood, and hell felt it. Far away, humans saw the sky darken. Kale Arden stood at the capital walls, staring as fire bled into clouds. He's fighting hell, Kale whispered. A priest shook his head. He'll lose. Kale drew his sword. Then he won't lose alone. Humans followed him, not to kill the devil, to stand beside him. Back at the oak tree, the devil finally fought, not with hatred, with choice. His fire did not burn forests. It burned chains. His wings no longer struck cities, but shielded the ground beneath him. One demon lord fell. Then another. Seraphi lunged, piercing his chest with a blade of void. You could rule us, she hissed. Why choose death? The devil grabbed her wrist. Because love taught me something you'll never understand. He pulled her into himself, and ended her without pain. Only Vorthin remained. The first flame towered above him, ancient and endless. You cannot win, Vorthin said. You are alone. The devil looked toward the horizon. He was not. Humans stood in the distance. Demons who had hidden among them stepped forward. Kale raised his sword, not glowing with holy light, but will. The devil smiled. For the first time since Mira died, Vorthin struck. The blow shattered mountains. The devil fell to his knees. His fire dimmed. He saw Mira again, not burning, smiling. Come home, she whispered. Tears ran down his face. I'm not done, he said. He rose, not as a king, not as a devil, but as a guardian. The last of his infernal crown shattered, releasing a surge that swallowed Vorthin whole, sealing him beyond existence. Hell screamed, then fell silent. When the smoke cleared, the devil stood alone. Wings gone, fire fading, mortality creeping in. Kale approached slowly. You're dying, he said. The devil nodded. Good, he whispered. He turned back to the oak tree. Myra's grave glowed faintly. He knelt. I kept my promise, he said. I finished it. The wind stirred, warm, gentle. He lay down beside the grave, closed his eyes, and slept. They say the devil died that day. That is only half true. Years passed. Borders changed. Orders fell. Faith learned to hesitate. And sometimes, when war threatened to consume the innocent, Something unseen stood between blade and child. A shadow, a presence, a choice. Humans built no statues. Demons spoke no prayers. But mothers taught their children one quiet truth. Evil is not what you are born as. It is what you choose when you are hurt. Beneath the oak tree, flowers bloomed every year. Two names were carved side by side. No titles, no crowns, just love,